What's the most dangerous piece of police equipment in British Columbia? Probably this, the Alcosensor FST. This is the roadside breath tester that we use in British Columbia. And if you attempt to provide a sample into this device and it doesn't read it for whatever reason, you end up with a refusal allegation. That can be a criminal charge, or you end up with a 90-day immediate roadside prohibition. So essentially, police officer turns it on, you're required to blow, you put your lips on it and you try and blow, and you blow and blow and blow, and it doesn't accept a sample. And the police will typically go 6 attempts before they come to the conclusion that you're refusing to provide a sample. Now, the problem is, when they introduced this device in Alberta, they replaced a previous device. We noticed that refusals went way up. And in BC, we also noticed after they introduced this device in 2015, the previous device being manufactured by the same manufacturer, but still the number of refusal cases went up. And that's not a circumstance of people suddenly deciding that they're going to try and thwart the police in their attempt to obtain a sample. No, it's people just not being able to get the device to accept a sample. Now, there have been occasions when I've used this device, and I bought one brand new, and I've got about 6 of them, but there have been occasions where it looks like it's ready to accept a sample. It says that it's ready to accept a sample, and I, myself, or somebody else in my office, usually it's Kyla Lee or myself, go to blow into it, and it just looks like there's nothing happening at all. And then you turn it off and restart it, and it works. And this is just the vagaries of using this particular device. Now, this device requires a lot more air. And there are many people who struggle to provide air consistently, strongly, with the right pressure for enough time to get the device to the point where it will automatically trigger automatic sampling, so that it will take the sample. And up until all that time, it will reject it, and it'll give the police officer a status message of some sort, flow inconsistent or flow low or flow high. Some people just blow too hard. In all of those cases, you can have people who are legitimately trying to provide a sample and simply cannot meet the parameters of the device to trigger automatic sampling. And there's no manual on this device. The police can't manually compel it to take a sample. And the problem is, as people age, it becomes much more difficult to provide a consistent, steady sample of breath. And we know for women in particular, once you hit your 40s, it becomes exponentially more difficult every year. Interestingly, this has never been well studied outside of the companies that produce these devices that haven't studied it. And if they do any studies, they don't disclose anything that would harm their ability to sell these devices to the police. It hasn't been studied in the US, where usually these things are studied, because they don't have criminal refusal charges in most places in the United States. In Canada, we just seem to trust the police. We've got this completely unfounded automatic trust in the police in Canada. And the only place where it was studied, there's one study out of the UK, and it wasn't using these handheld ones, it was using the bigger breathalyzers at the detachment. But it came to the conclusion that a lot of people simply cannot provide enough air for them. And so I say this is the most dangerous piece of police equipment in British Columbia because I suspect, looking at the numbers that have gone through our office over the years, the number of people who have called us who are charged with refusal despite the fact they tried to blow, thousands and thousands of people have been issued immediate roadside prohibitions in refusal cases where if they were blowing into a different device, they probably wouldn't have faced that allegation. They wouldn't have been charged with refusal or issued an immediate roadside prohibition for refusal. So it's a dangerous device. Now, it's going to be replaced soon with a device that's easier to blow into. And when we see the number of refusal charges drop, we're going to confirm what we have known, me and the handful of lawyers who deal with these things who actually have them, that it's the device that is the particular concern. But again, why the government doesn't look at it and say, well, this is a problem. We are issuing driving prohibitions, making people pay thousands of dollars to get their license back, losing their license for 3 months or a year, and potentially losing their job, their home, and so forth, all because of the decision we made with a particular device. This is the most dangerous device in policing in British Columbia, the Alcosensor FST approved screening device.